Apple just did the unthinkable. While the world has been glued to the battle between OpenAI, Google, Meta, and Anthropic, Apple has been cooking up something in silence. And now, without much fanfare, they've dropped a bombshell. A stealth release of a new research paper reveals what they're calling a private GPT, a fully on-device, offline artificial intelligence model that doesn't need the cloud, doesn't need your data, and apparently doesn't care about censorship either. This isn't just a typical AI announcement. This is a potential game changer. Because if what Apple is claiming is true, this could flip the entire AI landscape on its head. Here's the kicker. Apple's private GPT runs faster than ChatGPT, doesn't require an internet connection, and might not be censored at all. If that doesn't make you want to see how deep this rabbit hole goes, I don't know what will. Stick with me, because what's coming next might just change your view of Apple forever. Let's rewind for a second. For the last few years, Apple has taken a relatively quiet stance in the AI arms race. While Google flaunted Bard, OpenAI showcased GPT-4, and Microsoft went full throttle with Copilot, Apple kept things close to the chest. They showed us incremental improvements like Siri getting a little smarter and features like image recognition and voice dictation becoming more useful. But no full-scale LLMs, no massive model announcements, no big PR splashes. And then boom, this paper drops. Out of nowhere. No Tim Cook keynote, no fancy cinematic ads, just a quiet research publication detailing what they call a framework for running large language models on device. And not just any large models. We're talking about 3 to 20 billion parameter models, and they're managing to do it without internet access and with reduced latency compared to cloud-based models like GPT 3.5 or even GPT-4 Turbo. So what's the tech behind this? The core idea is something Apple is calling MM1, a mixture of experts transformer model combined with a new memory architecture. In plain English, they've figured out how to dynamically load parts of the model into memory only when needed, meaning your iPhone or MacBook doesn't have to hold the whole model at once. That saves on RAM, storage, and power. It's like giving your devices the intelligence of a data center, but in your pocket. But the really shocking part, according to Apple's researchers, this model doesn't need online servers for computation. That means it's private by default. Your prompts, your outputs, your entire interaction with the AI stays local. This makes it fundamentally different from how OpenAI, Google, or even Meta operate, where your data is streamed to the cloud, processed, and then sent back. For privacy-minded users, this is a dream come true. No more wondering if your data is being used to train future models. No more worrying about prompt logging or surveillance. Your AI is yours. But with that privacy comes something else. A lack of content moderation. According to the paper and early insiders who have tested it, Apple's private GPT has little to no guardrails. That's right. It appears Apple has built an AI system that doesn't auto-censor, doesn't restrict certain responses, and doesn't try to steer the conversation away from controversial topics. And that has sparked a massive debate. On one side, you've got the free speech advocates. They argue this is the kind of uncensored, unfiltered AI that should have existed from the beginning. No moral filters, no safety rails imposed by Silicon Valley ethics committees, just raw, uncut intelligence that treats the user like an adult. On the other side, there's concern, real concern. AI safety experts warn that without safeguards, an uncensored model could be manipulated into generating dangerous, misleading, or even illegal content. Think about deepfakes, misinformation campaigns, or even just wildly offensive outputs. Without moderation, the risk of misuse skyrockets. And now the question becomes, why would Apple, of all companies, release something like this? After all, Apple is notorious for control. They've censored apps, restricted developers, and built an ecosystem around carefully curated user experiences. So why unleash a rogue AI that they can't or won't police? Some insiders believe it's about trust and positioning. Apple knows that its core brand revolves around privacy. And after watching companies like OpenAI get grilled for hallucinations and over-censoring, Apple saw a lane. A lane for a what you see is what you get AI. One that operates locally, keeps your data safe, and doesn't insert corporate values into your conversation. But the implications are far bigger than brand positioning. Because if Apple has figured out how to efficiently run LLMs on mobile devices, we're talking about iPhones, iPads, MacBooks, then the entire cloud AI industry is in serious trouble. Think about it. Why rely on server-side APIs when your phone can do it faster, cheaper, and offline? That cuts out not only OpenAI, but also AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure. Billions of dollars in infrastructure spending could vanish if users and developers migrate to on-device intelligence. Now here's where things get even crazier. Developers who have been granted early access say Apple's AI isn't just faster. It's shockingly responsive. It can answer queries, summarize documents, and even generate content in real time, all without that annoying lag you get from online LLMs. One early tester described it as ChatGPT on steroids, but with a muzzle removed. And yet, Apple hasn't officially announced any of this in a keynote. Why? Some speculate that Apple is waiting for their September event where they'll tie this AI into the iPhone 16 lineup. Imagine iPhone shipping with Private GPT out of the box. No setup required. Just tap, ask, and get an answer. Instantly, privately, uncensored. Others believe Apple is testing the waters. This quiet research drop lets them monitor the media, measure community reaction, and prepare their narrative. It's a stealth move, and a smart one, letting the hype grow organically while avoiding the PR firestorms that companies like OpenAI or Meta often face. But there's another angle we have to talk about: the competition. How will OpenAI respond to this? Right now, ChatGPT still has the edge in pure performance and capabilities. GPT-4 Turbo remains the gold standard for creative tasks, deep reasoning, and tool integration. But Apple's model is creeping up, and fast. If Apple integrates their AI deeply into iOS and macOS, picture your emails auto-drafted, your images auto-tagged, your files summarized, then the edge shifts. Because it's not just about who has the smartest model, it's about who can integrate that model into your daily life the most seamlessly. And this is where Apple has always won. Remember the iPod? It wasn't the best MP3 player, but it was the most integrated. The iPhone? Not the first smartphone, but the one that unified design, software, and experience. Apple's Private GPT might not be the smartest AI out there yet, but it could be the most usable, most trusted, and most viral once it's in your pocket. And here's a final thought to leave you with. We are witnessing the beginning of a massive paradigm shift. Cloud-based AI is no longer the only path forward. Apple's Private GPT proves that intelligence can live on device, that speed, privacy, and freedom can coexist, that maybe, just maybe, the future of AI doesn't belong to data centers, but to the devices we carry every day. Now imagine when Apple combines this with their rumored Apple glasses, or their in-car experiences, or even the Apple Watch. A totally personal, totally offline AI that goes everywhere with you, hearing, seeing, assisting in real time. It's the Jarvis dream, only way more private and maybe a little rebellious. That's not just an upgrade, that's a revolution. If you've made it this far, you're clearly someone who's tuned into the future. And I promise, this story is only just beginning. Apple's Private GPT is about to shake everything, from how we use our phones, to how companies build software, to how governments think about AI regulation. So, if you want to stay ahead of the curve, stay informed, and get the inside scoop on the biggest shifts in tech before they hit the mainstream, smash that subscribe button right now. Because trust me, you're not going to want to miss what's coming next.